friends too.
This is BleachBANGS Radio, and we are sitting in with Shaun, the lead singer of Spiral Crush. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing? Things are going great.
Good. Can you give me a little background into the band?
A little background into the band. Well, we're a three-piece band. We're out of Brighton, Michigan, which Brighton is west of Detroit and north of Ann Arbor, if you want to locate it on a map. The band is myself on guitar, and I'm vocals. My brother plays drums, and we grew up playing in bands together and jamming together our whole lives, so that's, fun. And our current bass player is Mr. Jimmy Conrad, childhood friend of ours, and we've been around for... We keep going on and off. We were together in like 2001. We made an album. My brother and I joined another band, so we broke up. We got back together in 2007. Made another album, promoted that one, got burnt out, took a break, and then came back and did this new one, Electric Life.
Good stuff. Are you guys in the studio right now? Because I thought you guys were working on a fourth right now.
We are working on a fourth. We haven't actually made it to the studio. We're still in the writing process.
Oh, okay.
Getting together at rehearsals and, arguing over how we think the song should go.
Speaking of, do you guys have a special songwriting recipe that you guys follow for writing songs?
Not really, but I guess I would say we have a habitual process, which is one of us, meaning myself or Jimmy, will bring in a riff. Basically, we just start jamming on a riff, and if we like it, we spend a lot of time just hashing over it, and eventually something else comes up. We're like, okay, now we got two. Let's make that the song for now. So we'll start with two parts, and then I'll start just kind of vamping over it to get like a vocal melody, and then we just kind of go from there. And then hopefully as we, flesh out like maybe a bridge section or, a cool little lick to go over it. It's all just comes from organically jamming together.
Cool. Yeah, I used to be in a band, and that's exactly how we used to do it. But I've talked to so many bands that are just like, it would make my brain hurt the way that they approach a song. It's like, oh my God.
No, I can understand that. I have a really good friend of mine. We grew up playing guitar together, but he kind of went off and took a different path, and he ended up in Nashville for a while. But long story short, his songwriting process is very regimented, very structured. He like searches out topics. He works on the lyrics like in a very methodical way. And just a different approach, one that kind of boggles my mind, but it works for him.
Right. So you mentioned that you guys are a three-piece band. Do you find it harder to be a three-piece band, or do you think it would be easier if you were able to just give full-on frontman position to the crowd? Do you guys feel like that maybe someday that you might bring on a four, or do you love it the way that you are?
There have been times where we've dabbled with a second guitar player, and I started out in guitar. Like singing kind of ended up being we couldn't find a vocalist, so it's like, well, let's start playing some gigs and stop worrying about a vocalist. I'll just sing, and it's just stuck. So, and then my brother and I, we did play in another band. It was a 5-piece band, and there was like 2 guitar players, a front man, and all that stuff. But with this band, it just works as a 3-piece. We just gel really well together, and there are times where I do miss like maybe being able to have like something like with like a cool overlapping guitar part, which you lose like if you got a nice like picking strumming rhythm section, you want to put like a cool lead lick over it. You can do that in the studio, but then live, it's missing out. But
right.
I mean, it is what it is. But we're kind of more of like a bash it out kind of band, anyways, and keep it high energy live and chords and stuff. And I'll tell you what, 3-piece band is a lot easier to split up the money too.
I could see that. But I love 3-piece bands. I don't want you to think I was going a whole different direction, because I love 3-piece bands, because it really shows the talent of the band. Because when you feel like you're out in the crowd and you don't miss anything sonically, they did it right. And there's a few 3-piece bands that just cannot pull it off. It's like, dude, bring in a fourth. But absolutely not with you guys, because I listened to that whole album, Electric Life, and it is perfect. I don't know if that's how you guys, if you did any dubbing in the studio or anything like that, but
there is a little bit. But I try very hard to recreate the best parts of every song live, and I try not to over critique myself live, because that would just drive me nuts. But I have been told by people that, you know, the most common response we get is, "Man, you guys sound very full for a 3-piece band."
Exactly, and that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly.
I'll take it.
Well, I was watching your guys' videos, your live videos and stuff, and that's I was like, yep. That's a 3-piece. You know, when it's right, it's fucking right. And you guys do have it right. And it really looks like you guys have a lot of fun, and the music is drawn from I don't know where you guys get your inspiration, but it just, when I'm listening to it, I feel the good time, don't worry about tomorrow, let's just have fun tonight vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's I would say that's a good nucleus from where our love of music started from. You know, it's like a lot of, like, when my brother and I were really little, that's the first thing we got into, was a lot of those like 80s bands, early 80s bands, you know, Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, you know, they were like party bands. Right. And our musical taste just spread from there. I mean, we love everything. We love classic rock. We love oldies, 80s, the grunge era. We're metalheads. So I think it just kind of all comes together. But yeah, I mean, we do this because it's fun. I mean, there's not a lot of, you know, huge paychecks for, you know, new and unsigned bands these days. So we're not doing it for money, that's for sure.
I hear you, man. So how would your family members, how would they describe you?
Spiral Crush. I like the idea of us being a good time, fun, you know, rock and roll band. We're not, you know, not quite metal. We got influences of metal, but we're a rock and roll band. We like high energy. You know, just, we try to go groove oriented and a little bit of a pop element, you know, so kind of like you know, not that we sound like AC/DC and the Foo Fighters, but like a vibe of those two bands.
I like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, Foo Fighters, melodic, you know, just catchy lyrics, catchy grooves.
Pop sensibility.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. I love it. That's perfect. That's like dead on from what I heard.
Oh, great.
It really is. That's perfect, man. Do you remember who or what made you decide to take the music path?
You know, it happened when we were really young. I can remember being super young, and the first thing that I really caught my ear was Michael Jackson when that Thriller album came out. I was a little kid, and I was like learning to do the moonwalk. But within a year from that point, there was a kid that rode our bus, and his dad was like a metalhead, and he let us borrow a Quiet Riot tape. And my brother and I were just like, now this is the direction we should be going in, because our dance moves really aren't that sweet. So we decided, you know, let's get some instruments, and we just picked it up from there. And probably, for me personally, my brother would probably agree with this too, our biggest influences, we got into Kiss. And, you know, obviously, if you're young and you find out about Kiss and you see that makeup and fire breathing, and with great rock and roll to go along with it, you know, I mean, that just takes you over. And then Van Halen. Van Halen was just like, you know, I mean, that's pretty much the greatest American rock band in my opinion.
I agree. I totally agree. So, do you guys have any pre-show rituals or superstitions that you go through before you go on stage?
Our pre-show ritual is pretty much right before we go on. I like to get away from people, and my nerves start getting going, you know, and I start thinking about it, and I try to calm myself down. But we just each get a drink, we stand around, we crack jokes and have a laugh, and, you know, tell each other like, hey, let's have a good time, and let's just, you know, don't worry about that other band that just played in front of us. It sounded sweet. Like, you know, just, you know, go out there and do what we do and have fun.
Good deal. Good deal. So do you guys have any shows planned, or, God, I'd love to see you guys, any tours planned in the future?
our number one goal is to tour next year, and whatever that entails, however much or however little, but like to get out there and start booking some tours, be it a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, whatever. That's our number one goal for next year. Well, closely behind getting a new record out in time to do that. Right. And leading up to that, we're just doing some local regional shows around here because it's fun to play. But we're working on getting an album done, hopefully by the end of the year. Hopefully sooner, but I don't want to jinx it. And then, getting some touring going next year. And we got some good leads on some possible booking agents too. So
good deal. Because if you guys need any kind of help, I'm here in Oklahoma City. Just shout out to me. I may be able to help you out somewhat in this area, maybe the Oklahoma City, Tulsa area. But of course, setting up a tour schedule is just it's stupid because everything has to line up just perfect, and I totally get it because it makes no sense to go to Texas, back up to Colorado, down to it's just it makes no sense.
Well, the biggest problem with it is gas money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the traveling, even if it was a couple days apart, like you could deal with that, or but it's that freaking gas money now. But that's why we're gonna get a booking agent, like somebody else that can handle the headache of the logistics of a tour. Good stuff. Well, but we'll definitely hit you up. Like Oklahoma. My wife's cousin got married a couple years, and she's from Oklahoma, but a lot of her family's up here, so they all came up here. You guys got some rock and roll fans in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, well we sure do.
The family and friends that came up to that wedding, man, they were all about rock and roll.
Yeah, we kind of spawned Hinder from here, and then they're a great band. Like I said, you guys have 3 albums out right now, and you are working on the 4th. Where can the fans get the 3 albums right now?
Well, first of all, we are on all of the streaming sites and iTunes. Okay. But the best place to get our music, in my opinion, is cdbaby.com, and then look up Spiral Crush. Because on cdbaby.com, we get to pick set the price, so to speak. So we try to keep it, as low as possible. Especially with if you want to order actual physical copy, because you got to keep in mind in the day and age that we live in. I mean, it's not the hot commodity that it was, years back. So we try to keep the price, affordable, and so cdbaby.com is the best, but we're on all the streaming sites.
I like that. I didn't know that CD Baby did that.
Yeah, the artists are allowed to. Basically, what it is they'll tell you we're going to take. Whatever. Let's say a download is, 60 cents. They're going to take 9 cents a download. Okay. Or whatever you set it at. They're going to take 9 cents a download. You can set it at whatever you want after that. So we try to keep ours around, I think it's 59 cents for a download.
That's really cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to steer some other bands that way. That's really neat. I didn't know that they did it that way.
Yeah, trying to get a little more awareness to it because, iTunes is such the conglomerate that has now they're offering those premium songs for 30 cents more because they have a higher bit rate or whatever, but I don't think a human ear can tell the difference.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, if your dog wants a certain song at a higher bit rate.
Oh, man, that's really cool. I had no idea that CD Baby did that, and that's really neat. I learn something every fucking time I interview somebody.
Yeah, and we said I think our physical CD prices, we try to keep them at around $5.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
And if you see us live, our whole mission is to have people go home with an album. So what we'll do live is we just take a donation of the customer's choice, and they take a CD.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so if you want to pay us $2, that's cool. If you want to pay us $50, we're cool with that too.
Well, now I see why you're having gas money problems.
Well, yeah, you know what? Rock and roll fans, especially when people meet bands, new bands, and they're rock fans, and they genuinely like you, and they want to support you, I would say our average sale price, if we add up all the CD sales that we had and all the money that we make, it ends up being about $10 a CD.
Oh, I bet it does. I bet it really does.
Yeah. So, I mean, rock fans are good fans.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate everything that you are fighting for right now, and I definitely want to get my hands on this as soon as you guys get finished with the new album. Just let me know, and if you guys are going to set up a tour, please hit me up and say, hey, you got any promoters around the area? I'll shoot it to you who we've got, and we'll see if we can get hooked up with you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. As soon as the new album's done, I will hit you up. I'll make sure to send you a copy personally.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And then, yeah, if we come around, we'll definitely hit you up, and you know, because we appreciate guys like you out there, you know, helping support rock music and keeping this thing alive.
You bet. That's what it's all about, Shaun.
It is.
Well, you better get back to your job.
Yeah, I got to make a little gas money to get to the next show.
Right, exactly. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day, man.
Thanks, you too. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.